Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and today is just a discussion video regarding the next celebration we're going to be getting on Global, which should really be what was the Golden Week celebration in Japan. I do have a guest with me on the channel today. It's Alec. Would you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy?
Hey guys, it's Alechunter1982 from the Global Gang podcast. Hayzink, thank you for having me on the channel today.
No mate, it was great talking to you when I was on the pod. If you've not checked that out, go over to Alec's YouTube channel and you can see that on there. But I had a lot of fun doing that, so I thought it would be nice to get you over here and have a quick discussion with you about this. Now, you have the celebration details when Japan got them loaded up on your screen, just as I do, don't you?
Yes.
So we're going to run through first of all, talk about what Japan got, and more or less speculate on what we think is going to change. And having looked at this before I started, there's probably going to be quite a lot that changes. So the first thing you can see here when you go through the wiki is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what I'm just going to refer to as LR bait banners. Okay, it's basically returning characters like Baby, Goku Frieza, GT Trio, Cell and Trunks. I don't even know if we're going to get them. What do you think? Do you think we'll get them?
I don't remember how it worked last year, but I don't think we usually get these repeat LR banners. Unless they're putting this in place of the color type banners that we get from time to time.
The 50% support banners?
Yeah, the 50% support banners. If they're going to put that in, I mean, I personally would rather have support banners, but if they put this in, I'll probably go in, at least for when GT Trio is featured.
Really? Oh no, I would never summon on these. I know you've got a chance of getting every LR, but yeah, no, I just couldn't do it. I mean, I think summoning on LR banners is painful most of the time, but knowing there's a chance of getting a new unit is what makes me do it. But I just don't see me going back in for these older banners. It tends to be something that feels to me like they're saying, give me your stones now because there's something more hype coming and we want you to buy more stones later.
This is true, but the reality is for me, I'm gonna buy more stones later.
Well,
You know, I mean,
that's true. So generally you think there's probably not going to happen, but if it does happen, you'll be a happy camper because you're going to go for GT Trio.
yeah, I mean, and it's really the only one of the bunch. Like, I don't have the Trunks in my either, but I'm not gonna go in for them. But
Yeah.
I want to run Dragon Ball Seekers with the best lead, you know, because I have a lot of fun with that team.
You must have had a lot of fun on the 17 Easy A then, because having the GT Trio just made that so much easier. So what did you do?
I ran, for most of it, I ran a mostly Extreme Tech Dragon Ball Seekers. I had Goku and Raleigh as my lead.
Mhm.
I had Transforming Frieza, the Ginyu Force, Ginyu Goku, Goldo, and then I had, I think, there's a Tech Trunks that I had on the team or something like that.
Right.
But that kind of failed me moving towards the end, so then I switched over to using a Dragon Ball Saga and Youth team led by Kid Goku.
Right, okay. Well, at least you get through it anyway. I mean, I personally, with the GT Trio, I found that a breeze. I streamed the full thing, and even though I was messing about during bits of it, checking AR levels and link levels of other characters, I think it took me about an hour all in, but if I was concentrating just solely on the run, it would have probably taken about 45 minutes, I reckon. So wasn't too bad. I think those guys made it a lot easier, so it's a shame you never had them because you'd have mind you have fun coming up with different comps anyway, so it was probably fun for you muddling your way through
it was.
So as usual,
Funny thing about your stream though is you and I streamed at exactly the same time.
what did we?
Yeah, for the Easy A, we were streaming at exactly the same time.
I had no idea. You probably get more views than me. You stream on 2 platforms, but you stream on Twitch at the same time, don't you?
Yeah, for anything dokkan related, yeah.
Yeah.
We stream on the Global Gang podcast, Twitch, and YouTube channel.
I have noticed when it comes to streams, I know we're getting off on a bit of a tangent here. I have noticed when you do streams, Twitch seems to get more traction than YouTube. I don't know if people just aren't as into YouTube for live streaming as Twitch, but I've noticed that Twitch seems to do a little bit better with regards to people engaging and stuff like that than maybe YouTube does. But maybe that's
Yeah,
just my observation.
Twitch is primarily the live streaming platform, and YouTube is the video curated platform.
Yeah, I think
You know.
they just want a slice of that pie. So we're also going to have the dual dokkan fest. We'll go into that in a bit more detail. We've got them loaded up at the top, but we'll swing back round to that. We're also going to have the two new awakening stages, the new dokkan events, one for Gotenks and one for Boo. So that's a big 4 stones we'll be getting there. Everybody must be getting excited about those 4 shiny dragon stones. Looks like we will get a Dragonstone sale with a blue stone. Who do you get from these blue stones? Let me take a quick look. So from the blue stones, it is the usual suspects. Yes, I'm not going to wait for it all to load. It's just the usual guys you would expect to get off of these stones. So leave that as it is. Now this is where we start to come into what I think is going to make this celebration a little bit different on global. So as you can see, in Japan they got the Evo Revived, the Fearsome Majin, so the stage you got chocolate from, and if I'm not mistaken I think we got that in the countdown for the worldwide celebration. That was right, wasn't it?
I believe so, yes.
So that's content we can't get. Obviously these two returning things, I'm fairly sure Goku and Friends are back as the one with the radishes. We just got that, didn't we? I mean, that's literally just away.
Yeah, like within the last couple months.
No, I don't even think it's that long, because we got 1 stone compensation. I remember it like a couple of days ago there was a news thing that said there was a problem with the radishes and we've given everybody 1 dragon stone as compensation for this. I think it's just like a week or 2 away.
Maybe. I mean, I honestly, if it's a returning event that I've already finished, I generally don't pay attention to it.
I like the
But
fact...
I do remember having to farm up the radishes for the Elder Kais though.
Yeah.
So, and I don't... That was last month? Maybe within the last like 3-4 weeks?
I think it was last month. I'm fairly sure it was last
Yeah.
month. Right. Obviously, as always, the Extreme Z battles will all come back, but I feel like we've had them all back quite a lot in a very short space of time. So unless you're a very new player, I'm guessing there's probably not a lot for you to do there. Unless you're someone who doesn't do an Extreme Z area, unless you have the character, which I'll tell you now, guys, that's weird. Just do them, whether you've got the character or not. Get the stones, get the medals, and if ever you do pull the character, it's just a straight run to easy A them. We have got Explosive Chain Battle, which was brand new at this point, so it would have been Broly, if I'm not mistaken, who we've obviously just had. And you've also had the Infinite Dragon Ball History stage, which I'm fairly sure was the Youth World Tournament one, which for us is, I want to say 7 or 8. So we've had that as well, and then basically at the bottom is just returning Dokkan Fests, returning Story Stage, the usual Ultimate Clash, and the biggie, an Extreme Z Battle, which everybody will be excited about, but it's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegito, who obviously we got before JP. So, before we start talking about what changes we think might happen to events here, let's jump over and have a look at the banners. So, I want to start on the Majin Buu banner. You got that up there?
Yep.
Right, so with this banner, I'm fairly sure, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure this was the first time that tech transforming Vegeta returned to Japan. Now, obviously, in Global, we've had him back, I want to say twice. I think I'm right, that feels about right. We've had him back. Boo, who I feel like he's been on a lot of banners lately. I don't know if I'm just feeling that out a bit wrong, but do you feel like you've seen that guy quite a lot lately?
I think I've pulled 2 or 3 copies since, I think, the 5-year. I think he was on the 5-year banner.
Yeah, and I think he may have also been on Boo's banner, Boo Tanks, or Boohan, whatever you want to call him. I think he was on that banner. For the
I don't remember offhand.
Worldwide Celebration. I spent enough gems on that one that it kind of seems to me like I pulled enough to dupe him out twice and get 2 rainbow copies.
Jeez.
Yeah, it happens all the time, man. It's always the unit you don't want. We've got AGL Zamasu. I don't think Zamasu's come back that often. I mean, I feel like when he came back on Global for the anniversary, that was the first time he'd come back. We didn't get him on the 55 multi-summon, and he wasn't on the featured banner. I think this might only be the 2nd time he's come back. I think
so.
Yeah, so that's quite good. We've had Full Power Broly, or whatever you want to call him, not Full Power, I think it is Full Power Broly, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, the movie Broly.
I'm starting to feel like him and his counterpart, who we'll get to in a minute, I'm feeling like he's been a bit overused as well. I feel like we're venturing into that territory with him. I don't know if you agree there. And
I do actually.
the same for the next character. He was a great character, don't get me wrong. Metal Cooler is a fantastic character. I love his super attack and everything. I think it looks great. But I'm feeling like he's starting to tread that ground of I've seen him on a lot of banners lately.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, we have Broly. Super Saiyan 3 Broly, who is due an Easy A. I don't know about him. I don't think he's been on too many banners. I know he's on those Easy A category banners that we get, but I don't think he's been on too many banners like this, unless I'm mistaken.
This is the one character on the banner I really wanted to talk about, actually. So what happens here with Super Saiyan 3 Broly is if we get his Easy A in place of the Super Saiyan Blue Vegito, he will not be on this banner because he will also be on the Easy A banner that comes along with his Easy A.
I'm sure they've done that before though. And then if you go to the shop, strangely when you go to the red coin shop, there's two of them in the red coin shop. I've seen it happening a few times. Where you go in, have you never noticed it before? You go into the red coin shop and you scan down, and they've got two copies of the exact same character in the red coin shop, and it's because one of them's on the Easy A banner and one of them's on the actual banner.
Huh, I've never actually noticed that before.
I've noticed that. I go into the red coin shop all the time. I don't know why. I don't buy the units, but I always go into the red coin shop and say to myself, "Well, I'll waste some coins and buy this character," and I never ever do it. But I've got a feeling that he might stay on there, but we'll get to that. And obviously we've got the main event, which is Majin Buu transformation character. A lot of people are hit and miss on that character. I feel like we've missed the boat on him a little bit because he did introduce a new leader skill, and sadly we've now had that leader skill. No, not sadly, but we've now had that leader skill, so it's not really a new thing to global anymore. So I feel like it may have undervalued that character a little bit. So
Incredibly.
based on that, what you're looking at right now, no changes. Would you not you, right, because you summon on every banner, to the general populace, to the general player base in Dokkan, do you think that's a good banner?
Okay, so it always comes down to what do you individually have in your box?
Yes.
What can help, what it is that you're trying to build, and what do you think of the individual characters? Are you a fan of the characters? But as far as value per unit is concerned, if you are a free-to-play player, I would advise you to skip this banner.
Now, what do you feel strongly? I do feel strongly that they will make changes, right? But do you think they'll make any changes to this banner?
I think they're going to have to, because like you said, they undervalued this banner incredibly by the featured unit not introducing the category. Like, I feel like that's kind of a big selling point for a lot of people, is that, oh, there's a new category, I want to be able to play with the nice new shiny, even if the unit itself is not that great. I mean, look at Strength Boo when they introduced Transformation Boost. People still wanted him so they could run the team under that leader skill.
Yep. That's correct, and a lot of people would complain that I've seen it on the Reddit and stuff. I can't believe I need to run Strength Brew as the lead because I want to run Transformation Boost. And then obviously Cooler came along, and it was that guy was just relegated to absolute obscurity, unless you didn't pull Cooler, that is. But most people these days, if they run a Transformation Boost team, you'll not see that Boo anywhere near the team because they don't need to use it as a leader. But I think, in my hopeful head, I hope, should I say more than think, I think they might make 2 changes to the banner. If they want people to summon on it, I think they need to make at least 2 changes to the banner. And I think, or hope, they'll drop Broly and Metal Cooler. I don't think they'll drop Boo, because Boo is the main featured character, and you know what they're like. They like to have one variation of the character that you're summoning for. So I think he'll stick around, but I'm thinking maybe I'm being hopeful, but I'm thinking they might drop Fizz Broly and they might drop AGL Cooler. But the question I've got is, who would they slot in their place? So if they did make any changes to this Extreme banner, who do you think could come in? So let's not worry about who they take off, but who do you think's got enough value that they could maybe put on this banner that would maybe make people go, oh, you know what, that's maybe worth summoning for?
Right, and it also has to be a unit that hasn't recently appeared on Global, because anything within the last couple of banners would devalue it because, well, we just had that.
Yeah.
I mean, off the top of my head for Extreme units, they really haven't not given a whole lot of love to Extreme. As far as like really super great units that they could throw onto this banner that haven't already appeared on Global recently. Um,
Have they
I
ever
feel like
refeatured a banner unit like Piccolo? You know that new Boo Piccolo that came out with the the Boohan banner, the one that's the support unit. I'm wondering, have they ever refeatured a unit that's a banner unit, or is that something that they don't do on these Dokkan Fest? Because obviously, Boo doesn't have a side unit. You know how normally all the banners have like a side unit, like the Supreme Kai and stuff like that. I'm wondering if they would maybe bring Boo Piccolo back onto the banner, because he would obviously work alongside Boo, being that he's Imagined Power as well.
I mean, I don't see it as outside of the realm of possibility, but I think usually what happens with those units that go into the general pool, they end up being featured on like type banners and things like that. Those blue coin banners that we usually tell everybody to skip.
So it's quite hard to pinpoint who they could replace on this banner. Then I feel like when we look at the super banner, it's maybe going to be easier to make suggestions. But yeah, I'm actually thinking the same as you. If they took, I mean, a lot of people would probably still say Cooler, but look at the banner we're sitting with just now. We've got Cooler on there. They kind of want you to summon on that banner, so I don't think they're maybe going to put people like Cooler on this banner. I'm now starting to worry they're not going to change this banner, if I'm being completely honest.
I really don't think they're going to. Except for, like I said, when I said about Super Saiyan 3 Broly, but you know, you said you've seen instances where that's happened before. Yeah. So, and if they don't change the banner, it's not the worst thing in the world. The Vegeta's great for, you know, Resurrected Warriors. The Boo is awesome on a Majin Power team, the Strength Boo. I have him at level 10 Lynx. He's part of my main Majin Power team, and I think he's a great unit. He is incredibly undervalued as part of transformation. Well, I shouldn't say undervalued. He's underutilized as part of transformation boost because his links don't fit well with the vast majority of the team.
Yep.
But on a Majin Buu Saga team or a Majin Power team, he fits in perfectly. Broly, the movie Broly, dude, I don't want it to come back. I mean, I don't have him rainbowed or whatever, but at the same time, I feel like he's on every third banner.
Yeah, he's quickly becoming transforming Vegeta in my eyes. He's not quite that level yet, because obviously transforming Vegeta is his own animal altogether. But I just feel like Broly is starting to tread that ground. Broly's been around. I feel like Broly's been around more than Gogeta. You know how obviously Gogeta is the super counterpart of him. I don't feel like Gogeta has been on quite as many banners as Broly has. But maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but it just feels like there's been more opportunities to pull Broly.
It makes sense because the pool of extreme units is so limited compared to that of the super units. I think that super outnumbers extreme units by 2 to 1 or more.
Yeah, they need to work on that. Hopefully Dragon Ball Heroes can solve that out. So it's hard to predict what's going to happen in this banner. I'm hoping they make changes, but if you ask me, like we've just discussed there, and we've came to this sort of a conclusion together, to actually ask me to pinpoint any changes they could make to this banner, I'm drawing a blank. So who knows if they'll change it or not. I just think if they don't change it, I don't see this getting a lot of summons. Personally, I don't think it'll do that well, but again,
my anticipation is that they're not going to change the banner, but they're going to give us discounts, step-ups, and tickets all at the same time.
Well, I think we'll get that for the first one anyway. We should, I mean, unless if it follows the traditional route, we should get the first 3 multis at a discount, then we got a free one, and I've worked it out that my limit for this is I'm going to do 4 stone multis on each banner, because that gives me enough for the 3+1, and then it'll give me enough tickets. I think I'll have 12 tickets, which will give me enough to do a summon on the banner for free. That is unless they give us 1 or 2 tickets from missions. In that case, I'll just do the 1 rotation and then use my tickets to do the multi. That's what I'm planning for both.
What if they go back to something they used to do a couple of years ago and do the 3+1, but do multiple rounds of discounts? So like it starts off as the step up where it's like 5, 25, 30 or whatever, and then the next one they're like whatever it is. I don't remember what the stones exactly were, you know, but like you do 3 of them at a deeper discount, and then for like the next rotation or the next 2 rotations they would have it where it would be like 30 stones for a multi. I remember them doing something like that. Might have even been 3 years ago, but it's an old tactic that they used.
I could
But if
see
they came out
people.
with multiple rounds of discounts, I think that would be a big incentive for people to dip into this banner. Because like I said, these units are not like, oh my god, I absolutely have to get my hands on so and so.
Yeah.
But they're all still good units that are solid on their teams, so there's value in them as far as usability.
Oh, I agree. If they done Beerus style discounts, I think that's what people now refer to it as. You know what I mean? The I think it was 25 for 5 units, 30 for 7, and whatever for 10. But on the 10th one, you get a guaranteed featured unit. If they done that, but still somehow worked it so you could get your 9 tickets. So basically, even though the first one was 25 stones or whatever, you would still get your free tickets. If they done that, I think pretty much everybody would at least do the first round. And obviously, there's a very large pool of players, so if everybody did the first round, that's still quite a good bit of revenue for the company, you know. But let's jump over and try and look at something that's hopefully a bit more positive, which I don't know if it is the super banner. So on the super banner, obviously we've got the new Gotenks, and Gotenks does lead his category, obviously of the special pose, which meh. But the thing about Gotenks, and we touched on this when we were doing the Global Gang podcast, is fusions is still an area that can use some power behind it. So I feel like as a character, Gotenks has got more uses than Boo. I'm not saying Boo doesn't have his uses, but as a prospect, I think Gotenks is a bit more attractive because there's probably a lot of people that could still do some work with their fusion team, you know. You've also got the return of Goku, who, just like Vegeta, I think he's come back about twice now. We've got Piccolo, who, for God's sake, I've just seen him so many times lately. I don't know why he keeps coming back, but I just feel like Piccolo went from not coming back a lot to he's now been like every other month Piccolo's been on a banner. We've got Super Trunks, who, just like Zamasu, hasn't been back that often. We've got AGL Gogeta, who, again, like I said, I don't think he's been back quite as much as Broly. We've got physical Gotenks, and we've got tech Gotenks, who is actually featured right now on the Extreme Z banner. So assuming that banner's around for about 4 weeks, which I think it will be, 3-4 weeks, then we're probably going to have a unit. If he stays on this banner, just like Broly, we might have doubles in the coin shop for a little bit. So in regards to the super banner, what do you think about that from a value proposition wise to the average player? Not to you, because you're going to summon.
I think this banner, outside of Gotenks being the new unit, and you know, I don't actually think this banner is much better than, if not better than, the Extreme banner, because you know Gogeta has come back a lot.
Yep.
The Goku has been a recent unit we've been able to get our hands on. Honestly, both Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks are kind of lackluster.
Yep.
Obviously, the physical one's going to get his Easy A at some point. But even after Easy A, the tech one's not really anything impressive. He's kind of aged out of his Easy A at this point.
Yep.
So I really don't think that this banner has a whole lot of great value. Piccolo's an awesome unit, but who's running Worthy Rivals and Namekians? Like, how often do you see Piccolo as an option in the friend list? Trunks is a fantastic unit.
Yep.
Probably, in my opinion, the best unit on the banner.
I would agree with you there. I mean, the fact that he's not just does he get a good lead with his Future Saga, because that's obviously, if you look at that and nail that category down, it's pretty stacked. As a decent, a really decent category. He's also an all super lead as well, which, let's be honest, if you're a new player and you pull Trunks, a lot of your team building woes go out the window because you've got an all-purpose lead. You know what I mean, straight out the gate, which is good.
Exactly.
I would agree with you there, plus I like that Trunks. I know that some people don't, because you get a lot of people that just hate Dragon Ball Super, but I do like that Trunks. I also like the Goku as well, but I think I did a race with Nolar less than 2 months ago, and again I commented on this in the Global Gang podcast. I used 800 gold coins to buy a dupe for him and a dupe for Vegeta, so I already know it wasn't that long ago, because I just literally spent my coins like 2 months ago to buy more dupes of them. So them coming back this quickly, to me, just seems too much. I think at a minimum, just to keep the hype up around units, I think 4 months for a rotation for a unit is fair. If they start coming back every 2 months, it just feels like they're overdone, if you ask me.
Right. And at this point, we have so many Dokkan Festival exclusive units that we go months and months and months without seeing some of them. I mean, what was it? Gohan didn't return. I mean, he was in February, the Int Gohan, and he just came back on this weird Halloween banner.
8 months. 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this Halloween banner's a strange one because a lot of people won't have summoned on this banner, and it now feels like if we were having this discussion and I was to say to you, Future Gohan's going to be on this banner, would you say about Future Gohan was just on the Halloween banner? I don't know if that would be an exception because you already know that a lot of people won't have summoned on that banner, if that makes sense. Whereas seeing people like Piccolo, who I think Piccolo's on that banner. Piccolo is on that banner.
Yeah, Piccolo is on that banner.
Yeah, so it's worrying. I really don't know how this celebration's going to go with regards to summons.
So let's assume that those units won't be on this banner because they're currently on the Halloween banner. When you replace Piccolo, do you leave all the SR Piccolos in like they did when they messed up and took Cooler out of that one banner?
Messed up is. I think messed up's giving them too much credit. I think they knew exactly what they were doing. I think they messed up by leaving the SRs on there, but for some reason they decided that let's get everybody's stones drained. We'll put Cooler off the banner. Everybody would have summoned on that banner as well. People were cursing. I think it was Beerus, wasn't it? It was Beerus. It was the Beerus banner he was supposed to come back on. I remember the Dokkan Reddit at that point. Oh my god, that was a spicy couple of weeks on there. People were cursing them. I actually got into an argument with somebody about how it was false advertising because they left the SR Coolers on the banner, and his justification was that gives people the impression that Cooler's on the banner, and I'm like, but you can see every unit that's on the banner, so why would going through them all and then seeing SR Cooler in your head, you would think, right, I'm going to summon because SSR Dokkan Fest Cooler's on this banner. You've just literally seen he's not on the banner. You've got to the SRs. So how's that false advertising? And I felt like melting my brain arguing with this guy. Man, I was like, mate, how is he's like, yo, we should start a class action that they're actually false selling, and I'm like, what? I actually had to take his post and post it on my Twitter and go, just laugh at this guy, please. Oh, it was funny. But yeah, no, they probably would. I reckon that if they took Piccolo off the banner, yeah, you're damn right, they would leave Piccolo SRs on this banner.
So if they did take Piccolo off, is Beerus on this Halloween banner?
No.
So I think Beerus would be an option to replace Piccolo, because it still kind of fits in with the Dragon Ball Super vibe, because you've got Trunks and Zamasu between the two banners. And he's a pretty popular unit that has some hype behind him because he's really good for Realm of Gods.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's top notch. But again, we've just had him. That's the problem.
Right, and he's just so. I mean, like, then you got to look like back through the Majin Buu Saga Dokkan Fest units that we haven't had recently, which kind of leaves you with Strength Ultimate Gohan, which nobody wants in a banner.
No, you're right. You're right. Unless they done something crazy, which I just can't see happening. Right, but unless they went crazy, and it would work for this banner, and they brought back Tech Gohan already. I don't see that happening though, right? But nobody would complain.
I feel like that's a little too close.
But they done it with Piccolo. See, when Piccolo came out, I'm sure it was Android 13. Piccolo returned on. In fact, it was Android 13, and I think Android 13 came out 2 months after the Piccolo banner, so it's not unheard of. But who else?
No, absolutely not. But God, don't give them ideas, man.
Would you not take Tech Gohan on this banner?
I don't know. I just feel like you were just saying, they kind of need room to breathe.
No, I know. I'm contradicting myself by saying that.
I know.
I know.
We do that a lot, though.
I know, and I don't even need any more dupes from him. I've got 2 dupes. I'm happy. I don't care about rainbow and characters. If I get 2 paths open, I'm happy. I'm assuming you're the same.
Some characters are fine at 55%. Like that Gohan at 55%, he's viable for every game mode you're ever gonna take him in.
Oh yeah.
You know, same with Kale and Caulifla.
Yeah.
The LR.
Yeah.
55%. You don't need dupes. Dupes are nice. Don't get me wrong, but they're not necessary.
Yeah, that's true. And again, as long as I'll agree with you to an extent. I still like to unlock my additionals and my crits, and I like to be able to put gold equipment on them. So if I can get two paths open, then in my head I consider them done. You know what I mean? And then I'm not going to say I got upset if I pull further dupes of them, but I'm not exactly blowing my nut with happiness that I've been able to pull another one, because when you start going to the top right and the bottom left, they don't really do much for you. Let's be honest when it comes to your paths. So let's just say I think we've came to the consensus that both the banners, as they stand, because of what's come before them, are a bit mid. Would that be fair?
A bit mid might be kind. Sorry, I just like I try to be positive about these things, and when I talk about value for banners, I generally refer to the value for free-to-play players and their limited pool. Yeah. But part of being a content creator is, you know, doing summons, and then you see the pool of units that you're summoning for, and there's not really a whole lot here that gets me to go, oh, I am so looking forward to, you know, dropping 600 stones per banner here.
Yeah. Because I mean, like for me on this one, take an example. There's what, 8 units? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there's 7 units, and potentially I can use 1 dupe for Trunks, 2 for transforming Goku, who I don't really care about, and obviously Gotenks. So my hit rate is what, about 20% tops that I'm actually going to be happy with my summons. And even then, 2 of those are characters I couldn't really care less if I pulled any more dupes for. They're just literally not rainbowed. So essentially, you're going in, you've got 7 units in a banner, and you're hoping to pull 1 of them. So it's a bit. I must admit, I'm not hyped for these banners at all. But I will still do the discount summons, and I think I'll leave it at that. But you reckon you're going to go a bit further than that?
We'll see. We'll see. I haven't made up my mind yet. I generally do at least 1 round when we have the 3+1.
Yep.
And if they have additional discounts beyond the first round, I will take advantage of the discounts, because if you don't take advantage of the discounts, you're literally throwing away one of the biggest advantages global players have.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So let's just cross our fingers and hope we both pull them on the first 3 multis, and then we can be done with the banner. That'll be how it works.
Exactly.
So going back to the actual celebration itself. Now, obviously, when we were talking about what's in this celebration, people listening may have realised something, and that is we have had a hell of a lot of this content already. So let's speculate about what you think they can plug the gaps with. Now, obviously, I'd say the big thing for this celebration was probably the Infinite Dragon Ball History stage and Explosive Chain Battle. I mean, I think they'll just slot in another Explosive Chain Battle we've not had, because we've got 2 that's outstanding. So I think one of them will just slot in there, no problem. So I'm not really worried about that. But what do you think they'll give us to replace the Infinite Dragon Ball History? Are you of the camp that you think we'll get a global first stage, or do you think they'll just give us something completely different to replace that?
I would like there to be something to replace it. Do I think there's going to be? No. Given the track record that we've had for content release on global since the 5-year, I expect this to be yet another lackluster celebration.
Well, I'm veering into the more positive camp, and I think it seems to me it's the only natural time they can do this without it disrupting anything too much. I think we might get the category Super Battle Road, not the Extreme Super Battle Road, the normal category Super Battle Road, the extra 10 stages that Japan got. I'm thinking,
right, what is that, 31 to 40?
Yeah, I'm thinking that can slot in here. And to me, obviously I'd say that's more content than what we would have got with one Infinite Dragon Ball History stage.
Oh yeah.
But I'm thinking that most people that play global would be fairly happy with that as a replacement. I don't know about you.
I would be, yeah. I mean, 10 stages to replace one, sign me up.
And we get a new LR out of that as well, which is...
Exactly.
We were talking about this beforehand, it's Goku and Gohan on the bike, isn't it?
Yep.
So I think that's what might happen. Maybe I've got far too much faith, right? But I'm thinking after what we've been through with regards to drought, they have to. Because if they don't replace that, and all we get is an Explosive Chain Battle, we get two Awakening stages, and we get what? Let me just double check down here. We hopefully get a replacement Easy A. That's not enough content to carry a full celebration.
Well, I mean, if you look at the last 2 or 3 celebrations, we haven't had enough content to carry those either. But I'm being a little salty. I apologize.
No,
Um,
you're absolutely right, but you'd like to think that they're not that tone deaf to what the community are crying out for. I mean, I know they can be, but
okay.
you'd like to hope they're not.
So logically, I agree that they would probably give us the next 10 stages of that Super Battle Road, so we get that 31 to 40 of the categories, which I'm all about. Hook it up. Um, I think we'll see Super Saiyan 3 Broly's Easy A instead of the Super Saiyan Blue Vegito.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Um,
Who else could we get? Who are we missing? Apart from Kale and Cauliflower, because I think we discussed this before. I think they'll come at Christmas, so we'll just take them off the table.
yeah, they're part of that Tournament of Power package, so they're either going to come with the Blue Boys or with Jiren.
Yeah.
I know Jiren comes with Topo and Dispo, so it's probably less likely they come with Jiren and more likely they come with the Blue Boys.
Yep.
It would not be completely off base for them to do that for us, though, like to give us Kale and Caulifla to avoid giving us the Broly so they can leave it tied to something else. But the thing it was tied to, I believe, was Future Gohan, which is already come and gone.
Mhm.
But anyway, or not Future Gohan, but Tech Gohan.
Yep.
So that's why I think logically the most likely thing is we're going to get the Super Saiyan 3 Broly Easy A as our Easy A during this. But the thing that I'm really trying to figure out is what story events are you going to give us? Are you just going to give us the fearsome Majin again and, you know, the same stuff that we've had kind of ad nauseum over the last few months?
Well, I was thinking the same thing. I can't just see them miraculously pulling something out their backside unless they're planning a global first at the end of this. Then obviously we could get new story events in whatever part 2 is going to be, right? Mm-hmm. For part 1, the only other thing that I can potentially see them adding as padding would either be the Extreme Z area for Freezer and Cooler, who I think we should have actually had by now. I think we should have had them, or they give us the Extreme Z area for Slug and Kaioken Goku, but I think that we shouldn't have had them by now. They're tied to something else, but I think the thing that Frieza and Cooler were tied to, I think that's already passed. So I think they could pull that out. But again, does an Extreme Z area make up for a story event that maybe you've got 5 stages in that gives you... Let's be honest, you know this as well as I do. People tie content to Dragonstones. So if something has a lot of stages in it and it gives them 10 to 12 Dragonstones, they're going to call that good. If it's a story event that has 2 stages with 4 Dragonstones, they're going to call that garbage. That's generally how it works, you know. So I don't know if we're maybe outstanding any renewals. Although I think, did we not miss a renewal where we were supposed to get a Great Saiyaman 1 and 2? I thought we did.
Yeah, there was something for that. That might come with this. But the thing is, like you were just saying, people are going to look at it and they're going to compare it. They're going to be like, this has more stages, therefore I'd get more Dragonstones, so that wouldn't be equivalent. But if we go back to what we were just talking about, if we're replacing 1 stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history with 10 stages of Super Battle Road, I figure that's a fair trade-off.
Oh, I agree.
I figure they could, as a whole, for the celebration, if you look at everything and not just compare, you know, directly, I think that would end up saving as far as the stone people are concerned. I think that would save that discussion.
Oh yeah, I mean, what's that? You're looking at new Super Battle Road, 10 stages. What's that? 50 stones if you complete them all. You would get
something like that.
10 of those little statue things, which I think each one of them would give you 2 Grand Elder Kai's if you want them. So you know what I mean. That's I'd say that's fairly decent rewards. I don't know what people use those stones or those stone things on, but I always use them on Kai's. That's just what I use everything on Kai's. If I can get Kai's from something, I'll get Kai's. If I can't get Kai's, I'll get orbs. Well,
right.
I might get orbs before Kai's actually. Orbs are I'd say the best commodity in this game. If I could actually use Dragonstones to buy orbs, I would use Dragonstones to buy orbs rather than summoning.
Yep.
That's how bad it is.
Well, I mean, you can bust out the wallet and talk to Mr. Pilaf about that, but
no,
then,
no. Have you seen that? That's awful.
$20 American for less than 20% boost to your unit.
Yeah, it's so not worth it. It's so not worth it at all. So you kind of agree with me that you don't kind of agree with me. It's pretty obvious. We're going to have to get a replacement Easy A. Fact, hands down. They either don't give us an Easy A, which please don't do that to Zakatsuki.
We're already like 20 behind.
Yeah.
Let's just front load us with a bunch of easy A's. Just you take all of this content that we've already had, you throw it out the window because we've already had it, and you just give us every easy A you've been screwing us on for the last 4 months.
Yeah. So they either give us what's looking like the most likely scenario is they either give us Broly, which I would tend to agree seems the most likely, or they give us Kale and Cauliflower, which bringing Dispo and Topo into the discussion, I could see why they would bring that forward because they don't want to have two full-blown 30 stone or 34 stone easy A's in the one tournament of power celebration. So I mean, I suppose there is scope for them to bring that forward. So it's probably one of those two. You would agree with that?
Yeah, that makes the most sense to me. They have to be aware of how chomping at the bit global players are to get that Kale and Caulifla easy A. So if they don't give us Broly, it's probably going to be the girls.
I'm not. I must be honest. I'm not hyped for Broly at all. I don't know why. I'm just not. I mean,
because they didn't fix him.
Yeah, it probably is that. He's still a glass cannon, really, isn't he?
Yes and no. Okay, so losing 6% defense is better than losing 10% defense. I will give you that. And they gave him some defense, whatever. But just in this day and age where defense is basically the meta, why would you try to easy A character, which my assumption of that is to make it relevant again, but have it detract away from the most important stat in the current meta?
That's true. That's true. And then they follow it up with an easy A to someone like Android Super 17, and you're just like, why didn't you do that? It's just like
Super 17 is great when you have dupes in him, but at 55%, I was not impressed with him because again, no defense. Yes, he has that damage reduction. He has that additional stacking damage reduction. So I think it ends up being a total of 70 or 80% damage reduction. But you have no defense to build that little tiny defense number that he has at 55%.
Well, that's true about the 55% thing, but I mean, there's actually some quite top tier units in this game that you could argue aren't that great at 55%. I mean, it's the Tech Vegito. Tech Vegito's not amazing at 55%. You kind of need to get at least one dupe into him, the anniversary one, to make him really shine and really come on. I would argue UI Goku. I've only got him at 55% and I've never been impressed with him. And then I used someone's with dupes and I was like, okay, I get it now. Do you know what I mean? Because I found with UI...
Some units just get exponentially better.
Yeah. But if you get dupes for... I must say, if you get dupes for Super 17, he's pretty good. He is pretty damn decent. Especially if you've got him linked up with Android 13. So they're quite a tasty combo to run. So basically, I know you've got to go back and do your live stream because, guys, we are recording this during the World Tournament, which means there is points going a-begging just now. But to wrap this up, so based solely on what we always do with celebrations, we always look at the celebration in Japan and kind of speculate on what Global's going to get. So just based on what you see that Japan have got, are you worried about that celebration?
Oh, immensely. And that has nothing to do with even just looking at it from what Japan had compared to what we've already gotten. Just as a global player in the second half of 2020, I feel content has been lacking. Like, yeah, they've been giving us a lot of returning events, but if you're anything like us, I assume you farm most of that stuff the second it comes out. Like, you get it done.
Yeah.
And so returning events are great, but it's stuff that I've done multiple times already.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I want that new thing, and this particular celebration is just full of stuff we've already done.
I mean, I'm the same with Easy A's. Easy A's, like, yeah, they're great, brilliant, you get 34 stones, but realistically, it's what, 60 minutes of content? And unlike something like Super Battle Road, if they give us Super Battle Road, I feel that Super Battle Road is immensely replayable because you can go in, do things like try and no item it, you can try and use different team compositions, but once you've hit the stage 31 of that Easy A, unless you're really hurting for Kai statues, you don't really tend to go back in and do them, do you? It's not like you're going to go and start varying up your teams to see how they cope and stuff like that. Whereas if they drop something like Infinite Dragon Ball History, Super Battle Road, they've got replayability to them in a different way. Yeah, the average player might not do it because once they get the stones, they're out. But as content creators, they're great for us because you can go with things like, I'm going to try and take on a full free-to-play team, see if I can do this. I'm going to use characters that nobody would ever think of using. We're looking at you here, Alex. And that is just basically shout out on Twitter, could you please reverse your friends, your characters, so that I could use them for this strange composition that someone came up with. But things like that, you know what I mean? Like, doing the Legendary Goku event for the 100th time can get a little bit grating as a content creator, and I feel that that's a position that Dokkan has put people in just now. And looking back at last year, I don't think it was this bad. I don't think the space between the 300 million download and Christmas, I know it was a bit dry, but I don't feel it was this dry.
Oh no, last year was phenomenal because we had Dragon Ball Heroes.
We got that early, didn't we?
Yeah, we got something from Dragon Ball Heroes right before the thank you celebration. Like, that was our filler from the end of the worldwide celebration to the start of the thank you celebration. And so there was all new stuff, all new units. That entire banner was brand new. That was the first time we'd gotten Dragon Ball Hero units. So there was a lot of excitement around that, I remember.
Yeah, because I remember Japan got Dragon Ball Hero, because I was playing Japan at the time. Japan got Dragon Ball Heroes banner for them right before Spirit Bomb Absorb Goku dropped. It was right before then, and then I feel like we got the Dragon Ball Hero content about 2 months after them, and everybody was shocked because nobody expected to get it so quickly. It was kind of like, it took people by surprise. So I'm hoping that means that we'll get the Dragon Ball Hero content from Japan pretty quickly this time. Who knows? I doubt it, but instead of a global first, maybe they do the Dragon Ball Hero stuff worldwide.
I would be down for that. Yeah, but I think what is very likely to see, because we did have that at the end of January, we had a Dragon Ball Heroes banner this year. So the one we had in November last year was because of the Switch launch of Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission in April, because they had gotten that content on JP, and then we got it in November. And then what JP got for their stuff in November, we actually got in January.
Yeah, and I think that's
so. I think that's what's going to happen again this year. Is whatever they get in November for Dragon Ball Heroes, we're going to end up getting in January.
Well, let's hope that means we get Gogeta in January as well. I'm sure people will be quite excited for that to happen, but I don't think it will somehow. But no, so basically, guys, we've had a look at the celebration. Call us negative Nancy's, whatever you want, but it seems to me that the vibe is we're worried that it might not be as hype as some people are hoping for. But we do have Christmas to come, and historically speaking, Dokkan is usually quite good at Christmas, so maybe we might need to limp through November to make it into December, and possibly before that with regards to Black Friday, Thanksgiving that you guys celebrate in the States. Maybe something will pick up there. But let's hope we're wrong, but it's not looking like this celebration is going to start out really hype unless they do some wholesale changes to what we're expecting to get. But I want to thank Alec for coming on the channel. It's been really nice talking to him. It's actually only the second time I've really spoken to him in person, despite interacting a lot on Twitter, after being on the Global Gang podcast, which you should check out, guys. It's a great listen. The guys put in a lot of work and a lot of effort into that to keep you entertained. So go and check that out on Alec's channel, which I will link down below if you've not already done so. But really, what I do at the end of all these videos is I give you the chance to say something if you want, mate, so fire away.
Yeah, to the audience in the United States, coming up soon is the election. Go vote. I don't care who you support. Just go do it. It is your privilege to help shape the future of our country and the world.
Don't vote for Kanye, though. Don't vote for Kanye. If that's a real thing, don't vote for Kanye.
Fair enough. To everybody else in the world, you stay safe. 2020 has been a rough one. And then I guess just on a personal note, just to plug it, go subscribe to the Global Gang podcast.
No, mate, I'm more happy to shill for people, man. They can come on my channel and promote their content all they want. I'm good with that. But no, guys, they put on a great job. Great bunch of guys. They've got really good chemistry. So if you've not listened to their stuff, jump on over and have a listen. And make sure you listen to the one I did first, though, because like I'm there. So I need to promote my own stuff. Because if he sees nice view numbers on the one I was on, he might be like, oh, I need to get that Hayzink guy back on to do stuff again in future. And you'll discover that me and Alex are like separated at birth by a massive span of ocean, but yeah, it is the case. But no, mate, I appreciate you turning out today. I know you're busy, and I know you want to get back to trying to get yourself a Demon King Piccolo. Sadly, I need to do the same thing. Yay! But
I wouldn't say that I would necessarily want to, but dude, thank you very much for having me on.
Not at all, buddy. I really appreciate it, like I say. But anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. If you've enjoyed the content, if you've enjoyed us waffling a lot of shite, then please drop a comment down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I will catch you on the next dokkan battle video. See you later.